EA Sport on the PGA Tour. It is Quail Hollow. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Frank, it is just starting to heat up out on the golf course.
But it's got to have a great finish. It's got a great finish, then it becomes a great golf course. Quail Hollow has that great finish of 16, 17, and 18.
Good tee shot right in the fairway and plenty long. Well, Frank, this is always a critical moment in the round. The 15th, the second shot to the par 5. What's your best advice?
Well, I'd actually look at the green first. You can see there's so many undulations, humps, and hollows on this green. So when you look now at that second shot, you realize it's got to be hit up very, very quickly and land in whichever specific section that you're trying to hit at.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Good chunk of real estate here, 22 feet away. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one. Even par currently.
Birdie sends her to 1 under on the leaderboard. At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
Excellent, perfect position.
Ball's just sitting up too. You could hit anything from there.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, it's certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Pretty good result right there, considering
it looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Back-to-back birdies. We'll see.
Yeah, that was just begging there for a good putt.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Just 2 holes remaining here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the signature par 3, 221 yards, the 17th.
And they have a multitude of tees here. One of the new back tees is actually where the old 16th green was. And if you think don't go left is the way to play, then that won't work either, because right's not that much good. This is it. Stand on the tee and you better hit a good shot.
Not looking good, Frank.
No, I think it's wet.
Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are, because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing. It's a big green. He's managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Nice par to remain 1 under. Now to the finishing hole here at Quail Hollow. Frank, what can we expect?
If there was a name for this hole, Rich, it should be called Narrows. The creek that meanders its way down the left side and actually divides that hole into really half the size of what a normal par 4 should be. That makes it hard. The bunker on the right is your bailout area. Just over 290 yards to get past that, and then the narrowest green that still sits up against the lake. This is just a brutal finish.
Frank, uphill shot. What did you like to do on a play like this?
The biggest thing really is to try and work on your balance. You've got to make sure you get through the shot and normally take an extra club.
So maybe a nice way to finish up with a good approach here to the 18th and a good chance for birdie.
It's that sneaky distance.
Never quite had enough oomph on that.
Yeah, sort of a wishy-washy stroke.
Bit of a disappointment there. Locked in on the read and the speed. So with that, the score is now at even par. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. Presented by EA Sports. Brutal finishing stretch. They call it the Green Mile. And we are excited to bring you all of the tournament action. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novelo. She really hit that tee ball nicely. It is in perfect position, and now she'll have a chance to capitalize. Frank, what's the right play here on this approach at the first?
You can go at the flag here at the opening hole, Rich, because the flag's normally in these little pockets on the screen around the big ridge in the middle. Safely on deck.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. So a tester from 4 feet. In for par. Frank, a nice mix of opening holes here at Quail Hollow in the Wells Fargo Championship. Pretty short par 3 here at the second.
180-yard shot. We'll play more like 175 for the half a club downhill. There's much more green on that right side. If you're not too sure what club to hit, then you should stay away from that left side.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Mishit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? These putts keep the round together. Ooh, so close. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Frank, it has been that kind of a tournament. Another bogey. Frank, here at the third, players facing a challenging tee shot.
For a number of reasons, Rich. One, that the hole bends to the left. Two, that the fairway starts to run out. And three, the length of the second shot. You get rewarded the better you hit your tee shot down here.
No fairway here, this one in that rough. Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Frank, how about that?
Oh, can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away instead. Straight in. Amazing shot. And really deserves it.
And now let's go down to the action at the fourth. Even par through the early portion of this second round. Frank, not a bad spot.
Yeah, sort of rocking on ready, sitting on go. That's what it looks like right now.
Those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Good chance at one. On the green in regulation. Frank going for another birdie here.
Chance to get on a real roll.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one. Even par currently.
A good effort, a good par putt. Here we are at the par 5 fifth. It's 570 yards. Frank, this should be reachable for most players, don't you think?
Yeah, if you hit a good tee shot, especially with the draw, it will be. But the hardest part of this is judging that kick on the fairway that kicks the ball to the right. And it sort of turns at that awkward area at where the top of your tee shot range. That's where that dog leg is. Game's about rhythm. When you have good rhythm, it just looks effortless. To hit the ball 300 yards through the air, that easy.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Lost that one just a little bit to the right, but it is not too bad. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Finally, something happens that's good.
That's a nice shot right there. So that is the end of the second round. I can't wait to get back at it tomorrow, Frank.
We got a great leaderboard right now, Rich. So many players in contention. Golf course, there's enough blend of good and hard holes. Really, it's up for grabs.
This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo set to call all the action here at the Wells Fargo Championship. We are at Quail Hollow, and Frank, it is really one of the best courses on tour.
It is. The great state of North Carolina, where Donna Ross developed so many great courses. They're the sort of courses that we're used to seeing. But this is a relatively new golf course. First opened up in 1961, but it certainly fits in with the North Carolina landscape. Mature trees, holes well cut out, beautiful greens, and interesting finish.
How do you like that finishing stretch? They call it the Green Mile.
Some might think it's purgatory, but I think it's the perfect touch to a great golf course.
Third shot, looking for a good one. You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
So they'll tap in. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Now to the first par 5 here at Quail Hollow, the 5th hole. It's 570 yards, and it would seem, Frank, that this tee shot sets up well for a guy like Rory McIlroy.
It does. Someone that hits it long and moves the ball right to left, and that's what you're going to have to do here. One of the main reasons for that is not necessarily the dogleg, but the fact that the fairway, Rich, slopes away from you. It slopes to the right and away. So that makes that tee shot so much more difficult.
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, you know, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Getting set now over the putt.
Now putt for par.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration. Just a couple of feet. So that's a drop shot. Wow, Frank, this is all you want in a par 3. 250 yards here at the 6th.
Hey, that's what these guys need, especially in a PGA championship. Fortunately, the hole plays a little bit downhill, but 250, whichever way you cut it, is a big par 3.
Played that one on the commercial side, as they say in the professional game, inside 30 feet.
Yeah, 27 feet to be precise, but to make it from there, that's asking for a bit.
Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
Could use this one. This is for par. Stroke that with authority. Well, Frank, an eagle is in play here at the par 5-7.
And a 6, and a 7, and an 8, or a 9, actually. This is a potential scorecard record, the 7th hole. Many a tee shot has found that creek on the right, trees, problems on the left. There's no question there's a reward for a good tee shot here. But then there's a decision on do you go for this par 5 and 2. It's not overly long, just over 530 yards. It is very tempting.
Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You've got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down. That just came out blazing. As soon as it hit the green, it was never going to stop.
Safely aboard. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Well, that looked for all the world like it was dead center.
I've got no idea how that missed.
So just a formality here. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Day 3, and what a tournament this is shaping up to be, Frank.
Quite simply, great weather, great golf, great fans, which is the perfect mix for a golfer trying to win a tournament. The final round, if this is anything to go by, has to just be sensational.
Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Thanks for joining us here today in Charlotte, North Carolina for the final round of the Wells Fargo Championship. Frank, what do we have out here today?
Well, if history has a chance of repeating itself, remember those great closing rounds by Rory McIlroy, that 62, that was one of the best rounds ever shot that year. Back in 2010, and of course that playoff too. Ricky Fowler back in 2012. We actually beat out then world number 1 Rory McIlroy with that stunning drive down the finishing hole and brilliant wedge to a tight flag. This golf course, it can give it, it can take it away, but for us, from where we're sitting, Rich, we'll enjoy the view today.
No doubt about it. Chance to get it close here. Frank, we remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010, his first PGA Tour victory, a 62 in the final round. It was also the first victory for Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, and oddly enough, it was in a playoff, and in that playoff, Ricky just pulled out a driver and smashed it down there, then hit a sand iron to that front left flag, basically to gimme distance. Not only did he win in the playoff, but he beat Rory McIlroy, the then world number 1 NBA points. And that was the same as Ricky Fowler that, remember, in the playoff in 2015 for the Players' Championship, drove the ball in equally daunting fashion over those 3 playoff holes at TPC Sawgrass. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, there's really great history here at Quail Hollow.
Yeah, it's a private members club, Rich. Was founded by James Harris back prior to 1960. We know it hosted the Kemper Open from 69 through to 79, the Payne Weber Invitational from 83 to 89. And now, obviously, it's the host of the Wells Fargo Championship ever since it debuted back in 2003.
birdie try up next. Long putt here. This will require a good touch. That is an excellent. Good solid par right there. Here we are now at the 12th, and Frank, this is a beautiful but dangerous hole, par 4.
It is in a number of ways. The hole bends gently to the right, which you'd think would favor a nice little fade, but the fairway just seems to shrink up. I've seen this fairway missed by so many good players. And plus its yardage, 450 odd. You can't really lay back too far, otherwise you've got too long for your second shot.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. She is putting the full arsenal of her skill set on display this afternoon. Beautiful shot. Shouldn't be a problem here.
Well read.
Now to the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. Has a front right portion. There's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle. In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it.
Rub the shamrock. Got away with getting in the bunker there.
Suddenly a ray of sunshine with that birdie.
There is hope. Now in the top 25.
Well, now we come to the really interesting 345-yard par 4 14th. Frank, I'm thinking that if you're leading, you're probably not going to try to drive this and take on the risk with the water on the left. But if you're behind, you have a chance to make up some ground.
Yeah, I have it written in my yardage book, Rich, on this hole. Only good and bad things happen with a driver. Nothing in between.
Uh-oh, this one's going left, Frank. Well, they claim it's a reachable par 4. We haven't seen a whole lot of people do it today. We just saw it right there. Well done. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Good chance here. Good birdie right there.
Yeah, this game, when you can't win, it's all about top 10s, top 20s. And currently, that's exactly where they stand.
Now at the par 5, 15th hole, 502.
I certainly do, Rich. That was an amazing run on the second nine. And just obliterated it down there with a nice draw. Took those bunkers out of play and just set up a mid-iron.
Boy, this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it. This has exploded off the club face.
Well, Frank, this is always a critical moment in the round. The 15th, the second shot to the par 5. What's your best advice?
Well, I'd actually look at the green first. You can see there's so many undulations, humps and hollows on this green. So when you look now at that second shot, you realize it's got to be hit up very, very quickly and land in whichever specific section that you're trying to hit at.
So this is the third shot to the par 5. Frank, an important eagle from the middle of the pack toward the front here.
Playing well ahead of the leaders. Still, that move up there, at the end of the day, very important.
At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department. Second shot.
On the green, and a chance for a birdie. Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Looks like he just misread that. Settles in over the putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, the 17th here at Quail Hollow. It is all you want.
And a bit more, actually. The only advantage the player has, it plays a little bit downhill. But when you look at the lake in front of you, if there's any swirling breeze out there, it just becomes a nightmare trying to choose the right club.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Almost. Wow. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. They'll take it. That's a par. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually
which she's got here. She is loading up for the big one.
grab the fire extinguisher.
Good chance to attack the pin. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Sevier-esque.
Wow, I didn't expect that. So just a formality here. Well done. That'll put a wrap on our final round coverage for all of us at EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner. We'll see you next time.